Welcome back to another episode of Bourbon and Ash. Happy Thanksgiving from us at B&A to you and your family. We're excited to bring to you guys today the single barrel New Riff bourbon.
That's right. So this is New Riff's single barrel. This is one of their Kansas. It's a Kansas pick. So they did that for Kansas. It's a single barrel. Comes in at 104.
104, yeah.
Yeah, 104.4. Doesn't sound like it's incredibly hot. It's kind of closer to our, at least to my palate, that 107, 115. I feel very comfortable. I think that's kind of my jam. We did have the opportunity to tour the plant or the distillery. We were up in, I want to say Newport. Is it Newport, Kentucky? And we had some of their ryes and some of their new releases. They've got that new release, the 8-year. Yeah, so super excited about this. They seem to be in full-blown production and ricking, and you know, all the wheels are turning. So I'm super excited to give them a try. I love the color. I love what they did with the very artesian, the bottle. I've seen some bottles that lately just released that are frosted completely. I've never been a fan personally, especially with some of my interaction with other people who are bourbon drinkers. There's always that guess, you know, what does it look like? What's in the bottle? But if you look closely, they did a super cool job of actually exposing the bourbon itself, and as it rises, the bottle becomes darker and darker to the point where you can't see through it. So
New Riff Distillery was found in 2014 by a gentleman named Ken Lewis, who actually owns a large retail chain there called Stillbeck's Liquor Store. And they actually have the liquor store right next to where they built the distillery.
That's right.
And this is right across from the river which banks the city of Cincinnati, Ohio.
And a little feedback on that. So he owned the property that entire property where New Riff sits at, and the Party Warehouse. He owned that as well. So when he decided he was going to make bourbon, he sold that to the employees. So he sold the business, the retail, if you would, or the liquor store, to the employees, and he dedicated his craft and time and efforts to New Riff.
So this particular batch, the single barrel bourbon, is comprised of 65% corn, 30% rye, and of course 5% malted barley. So we appreciate you guys taking the time to watch our channel. As we said, from all of us to all of you, happy Thanksgiving.
Cheers. Para Dios, tu familia y tus amigos. Salud.
Salud. Pretty warm.
It does have
spicier than I was thinking.
Yeah.
To me, there's not a lot going on the nose.
On the nose. The nose is a little bit.
Figure it out.
It's herbal. To me, it's like a little bouquet of like herbs, like
I agree with
mint, or you know that. What do they call that grass? The
lemongrass.
Lemongrass.
Yeah.
I get a little bit of that. But it is on the softer notes, as far as I'm picking it up on the palate. Now in the mouthfeel, I'm going to revisit this. I did get some of the, caramel, some of the sweetness of the bourbon, but I'm trying to really wrap myself around the finish.
So I'm getting a lot of pepper.
On the end.
On the end, on the back side, and it's a little bit warmer. The Kentucky hug kind of goes down to the back of my throat.
Yeah.
I'm getting some earthy tones. I don't know what it is. There's a little bit of leather there.
Maybe like a tobacco.
Tobacco, maybe a little leather.
I can see that leather, tobacco.
I do.
It is very earthy.
It is very earthy.
It's good. It's really good.
It does have that pepper.
Yeah.
It is powering, but and as far as the heat, I think it's kind of a delayed. So the mouthfeel is
Yeah,
great.
It's more down.
It is.
Yeah.
It's very down. So you get that slow reflex, you know, and then it goes down. Really, I mean, it goes down good. I feel like it's not overpowering. And it's not going to make you, you know, choke up. Or I think it's good.
There's something fruity to it, though.
Like almost like cherries.
Yes.
Right?
It's like
Yeah.
cherries or maybe like a raisin.
Yeah.
A raisin in there, that
Like a dried raisin.
Yeah.
like
I
a
would
nice-
say it's
yeah.
a dry raisin.
Yeah.
It's just not enough sweetness, but you can taste that
there's
little
a
bit of
little bit of that in there.
fruit. It's got great oils, and the color is fantastic. And these are aged anywhere between 4 and 5 years. I think the age statement on this is 4 years and 3 months. And MSRP it comes right at $59.99.
$59.99. And you could see a little bit of its youth, if you would, on the color. It has a very bright
Amber color.
amber color. It's
Yeah.
very bright. You know, it's not that deep hue that you
Which
get.
is interesting because in the bottle it
It
has
was- it do-
the dark hue to it,
Yeah.
but when you get it in the glass, it lightens
I wonder
up.
if that black top prevents the light from coming down into
Yeah.
it.
Maybe I don't have enough in my glass.
Right?
I'm not sure. Like you said, we did a distillery tour, and Grover was the gentleman who gave us the knowledge and walk around of the behind the scenes. I'll have a link down below for you guys to view that video. It's a cool distillery. I mean, it's the farthest you can go in Kentucky that's on the Bourbon
north.
Trail Tour. It's a new and upcoming distillery. They are producing lots of different products.
They've got
Their
new
rye
expressions. They've
is
got the
amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will begin the rating. I'm a new Riff fan. I like their rye, their single barrel rye, and then they have a regular rye. I didn't care too much for the single malt that we got to try there at the distillery.
True.
I do like the bourbon. So based on this one, this being their single barrel and being a Kansas release, I will say this is a 7 for me.
Okay. All right.
I'm not a huge fan of this one. I do like their rye. I think when I remember on their tour, their rye was phenomenal. But I don't. For this Kansas one, I don't like the leathery pepper flavor. The only thing that's kind of saving is that raisin fruitiness in there that I pulled out.
Like
It's kind-
figs.
Yeah. It's kind of saving it for me. So I'm gonna go a little bit lower. But I mean, it's still a good bourbon. But I'm gonna go a little bit lower. I'm gonna go with a 6.
Okay.
Okay. How about you, babe?
Well, I'm going to go with an 8 because I do like it a lot. And I don't know if it's the pepper or that's coming from the rye, or I don't really get raisin, but I get more date.
The
And,
dates, yeah. It's the dark
I like
fruits.
it. I really
It's the
like
dark
it.
fruits.
So
yeah.
I'll do an 8.
Okay. So in my book, it's 7.5 for the youth, for the amount of time that it's aged, or what it. You know, there's a couple of things that fell short. Okay, so I don't think there's that bouquet I'm always looking for in the nose. Palate is good. It's very different insofar as, you know, bourbons go. I like that delayed reaction. It has a great mouthfeel. It's got a good finish.
Well, there you guys have it. We have a 6, 7, 7.5, 8 all across the board. Everybody's palate's different, and that's why we do this. We appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video. Please hit that like, that subscribe, and follow, as it really helps our algorithm. We're building up a pretty good sized audience now. We appreciate everybody's support. So until next
Thank you.
time, please drink responsibly.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you very much, thank you very much.
Oh, did you guys hear the conspiracy theory about Elvis being alive in some pasture in Texas? No. All right, we'll talk about it later. It's pretty
I like
I'm
it.
sure I saw him in Vegas.
He was on a
scooter.
On a scooter.
good. On a scooter.
Flipped us off. Fucker.
We can talk about that later, too.